was standing by my window on a cold and cloudy day, when I saw that hearse come rolling for to carry my mother away.
Friend, well, the many girlfriends he had, his wife, his children, his own family, the justice system, his co-workers. I mean, he had been hooking up with women for, one night stands forever.
Right. I mean, Christopher is good looking, or he was at one time. He was good looking. I believe that this crime has eaten him. He's not as good looking as he used to be, but he's
It is kind of strange that nobody came out. Like, does she have that good of friends, or is somebody in her life scary, preventing them from saying something?
Good looking man, and he comes across very sweet. He was very gallant in the way he even treated me. He was very kind. He wanted me.
Gallant? Does Chris Watts strike you as gallant?
To just feel that he was the good boy next door. And he took on a role with me almost as that I was a mother figure to him. And he would tell me that because, I mean, I went into it at 60 years old. I had no intentions of any kind of a romance. And I made that up front in my letter. That's not what my letter was about. And I find it interesting that he has a lot of issues from growing up that he may think is okay, but I would be very concerned if my son had those kind of issues. And I think that it was
what kind of issues?
Well, he would go into the bathroom at home, and his mother told me this. He would go into the bathroom at home, and she would hear him crying and saying, "Oh God, please forgive me, please forgive me, please forgive me for what I did, please forgive me." She said that she would ask him about that, and he wouldn't answer her, and so she decided to leave him alone because she felt like he had his right to moments of privacy. Well, that is far beyond privacy. That was sick. Something had happened. Something a 12-year-old boy.
I don't know so much that something happened or that he did something. Sounds to me that he did something, that he was anxious to be forgiven.
Yes, absolutely. And so he would do things like that. And he was very much kind of a loner. He did have a friend that he grew up with that lived close by to them or next door or something. But I think there was a lot of dark things in his childhood that he did. And I don't think it was killing the cat down the street. I think
it's interesting what Nancy is about to get at here. It went over our Cherlyn Cadle's head there, but she's about to bring it back.
Some things that he did. He told me once in the jail.
And, Nancy is actually saying things that I never really thought of myself. So when she started saying these, I thought,
There was some things he would take to his grave that he would never talk about. One of those things.
Oh my stars! Whoa! Hold on, my head just blew off. Let me attach it. He's murdered his pregnant wife, the unborn baby, his two daughters, Bella and Celeste. But there's something so bad he won't tell you.
Yes, and that was one of those things happened during surrounding the murders. I would question him about different things. I think the thing that he wouldn't talk about that he was going to take to his grave, I think it had to do with the fact that he gave Shannan a heavy dose of oxycodone when he had met up with her at her family's house in South Carolina. He spent the first night at the house there with the family, and he so wanted to get rid of the unborn baby that he gave Shannan, he made her a shake, and he put oxycodone in that shake, thinking that it would cause her to miscarry. The poor girl drank it, unaware of what he was doing to her, and it made her very violently ill. She threw up all night. He couldn't even console her. He allowed her to literally sleep in the bathroom with her head on the toilet, vomiting and sick. Her brother had to come in and help console her. She was so sick, but she did not lose her baby. I believe that one of the things that he will take to his grave with him is who gave him that oxycodone. He wouldn't tell
hold
me.
on just a moment. Hold on. So disagree.
I think it's so funny because Cherlyn Cadle thinks this is the big bombshell she's dropping here, but Nancy Grace is about to drop one back.
And I admit that you're the expert because you've had all these conversations with him, but he would sell anybody down the river. He's now blaming Shannan. She was a problem. She was a control freak. He's blaming the girlfriend. It's all her fault. She was a, quote, dark spirit, like cult mom Lori Vallow said. He blames everybody else for everything. I think it's something much worse than who gave him the OxyContin that he slipped into her drink to kill the baby and maybe her. I don't think that's it. He would sell out anybody and their mother. I think it's something worse than that, something he did to Shannan or the girls or to their bodies, something that's so horrible he won't confess it. Now let's just let our minds follow that through to its logical conclusion.
And my mind goes to a lot of conclusions there. It goes to a lot. It could go to ritualistic. It can go to ex abuse. It can go to a lot of places.
Right. And I have wondered if
you can tell it throws Cadle off her center.
Girls were alive when they hit that water. That has been because he was a time crunch getting.
But she's not even going to where Nancy's taking her. She's just going to maybe the girls were alive. That's the brutality that she thinks that Chris inflicted. I think Nancy's talking more brutal.
Out of there. He had to appear like everything was okay at work at 8 o'clock. And so it took time to smother those girls. It took time to walk them up those battery steps. If you've seen a picture of them, they're huge. They're tall up in the air. So were they alive?
So he had sex with Shannan right before he killed her. I wonder if kits were done on Bella and Celeste. I wonder if he, let me just say euphemistically, tampered with Shannan's body post-mortem. Whatever it is has got to be something that's so horrible.
So Nancy's going to just spell it out for old Cadle. Here it is.
He can't bring himself to state it. I don't know what could be more horrible than what we already know he did. What
I seriously didn't think of it. And now it's all I can think of.
Confess to. Question. How is he twisting this around and making this all Shannan's fault?
Shannan was an accomplished woman in her own right. She sold a company, Thrive, that she worked for, and she was very successful. They gave her a car allowance for a new Lexus. When she would go to the large campaigns that they have every year, she won awards. She had something like 400,000 people under her. She was a very accomplished woman, and she liked to spend money. She liked to impress. They lived in a huge home. She made him look.
I agree. She did like to spend money. She did like to impress, but this was an era where the internet, I remember I liked watching beauty influencers and flaunting your wealth and everything you had on the internet. It was a thing. It's like, thank God it's like flipped, and now it's like not a thing. Or if it is a thing, it's like, why are you doing that thing type of thing. But we all have to admit that our world evolves and changes, and things come into popularity and it goes out. And I promise you, flaunting your wealth will be back in at one point in time. It will be a thing again. It just will. And so I don't fault Shannan for being a human being. I believe we all came here to learn lessons on family, love, hate, anger, wealth, home. And she was a person on this journey. And if I say that I think Shannan did anything wrong, I will also say what I think she did right. But also she's a victim. And I can't imagine being her family and having to go through the things that are said about her. It must be really hard. And I know like the Rucheks have not been acting very upstanding lately, but I give them a lot of grace. I give both sides of the family a lot of grace because of this tragedy. I tend to give people more grace if I know their backstory or what they went through. But I can't stand what's happened with Shannan's name. It really breaks my heart. When you go over to Reddit, it's just, that's where I find it's really hard to handle. There's things that are said about Shannan that, well, the whole family basically, but also I don't think the Rucheks are going to win their battle of trying to silence people from talking about their family. I mean, they've even tried to silence me, me who talks nicely, pretty nicely about things, I think. Sometimes what I say isn't a perfect thing, but like I said, I'm a snarky human being. What can I say? But I just don't think silencing people is the answer either. We're going to take a look at a little bit of that when we wrap this up. I want to take a look at what's going on with what people are saying about this this interview and it's landing back down with the Rucheks.
But very little in his eyes. He felt like she made him look little. He told me that she would.
Okay, wait, what?
I've heard that rumor.
Her working.
I've heard that rumor, but it's never been confirmed. And there's a lot of rumors about NK.
Her finger to the bone and creating this beautiful home that she artfully designed. I've looked at every room that she designed, she painted, she furnished. Now, how does she makes the money? I
don't know if it happens in every cases that people do deep dives into, if it eventually turns on the victims. I don't know if that happens, but it's really happening now. Thankfully, they're not turning on the little girls. But yeah.
She brings home the money. She takes care of the children. She designs the home. She cleans the home. Wait, how does she make him look small? I thought you could only do that all on your own.
That's only in his eyes.
I agree. And I don't agree with knocking people off the platform off of YouTube just because you're talking about the case. Like, you might not like what's being said, and I don't like what's being said, but I recognize that if I take away other people's right to say things, that my rights are right around the corner. So, and I don't think people who do these things understand that or care. They're just dealing in their grief and what they want. Like, I want what I want. And they don't recognize that maybe what they want isn't good for the whole.
I don't believe Shannan felt that way about him. I know for a fact his in-laws did not feel that way about him. But he had to have some way to blame all this. See, they went on trips. It shows right here. You're looking at them at a beach. That trip was furnished by her company that she worked for. She earned those things, and he had a job, a decent job, but he only made $60,000 a year. She made twice what he made, and he felt belittled. He said by her. She was very.
Ooh, but he didn't mind spending her money, did he? No, somebody had to pay for all those motels he shacked up in.
Yeah, that's all the dinners he took his girlfriend to, and the gifts that he bought her. That's right. Yes, and so Shannan was, like you said, working her fingers to the bone. That girl worked day and night to do what she accomplished, and yet he would say that she was just on to him all the time, and just whatever he could use to blame her for everything.
Yeah, because she probably knew he was cheating.
She was a good salesperson. I wish she had just put her sales ability to good use and not went into MLMs.
Or at least suspected. Look, you can't have a house that beautiful that you design and you keep neat as a pin and not look at your husband's credit cards when he doesn't show up for supper. Right. Isn't that why we all have Life 360?
Yes, right. Yeah, no. She was blindsided in the beginning, I believe. She trusted him because she was so busy. I don't think she had time to follow him around.
I think she was blindsided because he was using those credit cards, and yeah. But I don't know.
and see what he was doing. And so in the beginning, I think she was very trusting.
I know I trusted my ex-husband a little too much, and guess what happened?
And then all of a sudden, when he changed who
Hey,
he was to
Cherlyn,
her. Yes.
I want to throw something at you. I mean, I know you're not a shrink, but I'm just thinking about her, and I admire her.
Yeah.
Well, she's beautiful, and she always is so put together, and
Yes.
she's trying so hard to get that Hallmark family and home and keep it
Yes.
perfect and beautiful. And she has to wonder, what's wrong with me? Why is he not coming home at night? Why is he at the Dewdrop Inn motel? I mean, she had to be suspicious, and that probably manifested by her being, quote, on him. Like, what are you doing? Where have you been? And I'm sure he
Sorry. Chet. Their line of question is completely so far off base that it's pointless to waste time, especially in this way. So I would have been like, oh, no. Shannan was out of town or something like that. Wouldn't you guys have?
resented that. But this beautiful woman on the end, not her, I'm talking about Shannan. That's one of his many girlfriends. Her, Shannan.
Yeah.
She was always feeling like she was overweight, like she wasn't pretty enough, like she wasn't exciting and funny and witty and blah, 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 fill in the blank because of him.
Right. He didn't do anything to feed her ego, but he wanted his fed well. And he went to the gym and he lost weight and he buffed up. And she had to have known something's going on here because she was a smart girl. She was just, she wasn't stupid by any means. And so, I mean, we all have things about us that we wish we looked different or we were weighed less.
What is wrong with men? I don't get it. I do not get it. Of course, I guess you could say the same thing about some women, but they've got it all. If you can't be happy with her and the beautiful girls and the baby boy and the picture perfect home and the perfect neighborhood, what does it take? I don't know. I don't know. What does it take? That's everybody's dream. But listen to this. I'm quoting from Cherlyn Cadle's book. Now she's got 2 of them. I know if Nikki and I,
but you hear that a lot. You can have the juiciest peach in the world and you still want apples, right?
We're going to be together, I had to kill all of them. That's a quote from The Murders of Christopher Watts. It was all to be with another woman. Hadn't he ever heard of divorce?
That's debatable. Some say they would like us to believe that they met in the spring. So they would like us to believe that they met at the end of May and part of June. And so that it happened part of May, June, July, and then he unalived his family in August. So 3-ish months. But in the discovery, our mistress friend, Nicole Kassinger, I believe Googled Shannan and Chris's name she did one a year ahead and then the other was 2 years and one was supposed to be a misprint and the other wasn't. So our Nicole Kassinger knew about Chris at least a year prior to the affair.
Divorce?
Yes. Think of that. And the other woman, I don't know anything about her, but Shannan was, in my opinion, far more what he should want. He built a life.
He hasn't said if he had other girlfriends, but there was another girl that came forward and said that he met her at a chicken place, which is very interesting. This woman that came forward, this woman worked in the hair care industry and had also came in contact with Sandy and Nicole Atkinson. And so, but Nicole Atkinson was on the channel and said that it was a small town, and has said that she hasn't had contact with Amanda, but I have sources that say otherwise. So it's a small town, so apparently, and also there was a man that came forward, Trent Bolt came forward and said he had an affair with Chris Watts, and it's been proven that this Trent Bolt has a connection to Nicole Kessinger. So it's a lot.
Why do people always cheat down? You ever heard that?
Exactly.
They always cheat down.
Cheat down. That's a good one. Yes, definitely. I mean, look at Shannan. She's beautiful. She's laughing. She's got a wonderful personality. She treated people so well. People loved her. She had a huge group of friends. I don't understand at all. I don't understand why he would not be happy with what he had.
He tries to blame it on anger, that I was so angry I would have killed anything. Like anger is some type of a beast that did the deed. It was him that did the deed. Did he ever shed a tear?
Never did he shed a tear. And here's another thing. And I asked him about this point blank, because I said, it seems like that there's a monster in you, that whatever it was that you were having to go to the bathroom and pray for forgiveness. And this didn't happen just once. This is something that happened on a kind of a regular basis, that his mother could hear him as a child. I said, it seems to me like there was.
Okay, so this is the other girlfriend. We've done some things on the other girlfriend. So Mistress Files, Nicole Kessinger, and the Amanda McMahon story you didn't know. So we have done some.
To forget her torrid and terrifying affair with cold-blooded killer Chris Watts. Amanda McMahon met Watts on the dating site Tinder last March, 5 months before he strangled his pregnant wife and smothered his 2 little daughters.
He seemed like a genuine guy. You know, I mean, he was funny, he was charming.
Watts claimed he was divorced. They started out texting each other. She texted, "Morning, bud." Watts replied, "What's new, pretty lady? When can we eat tacos together? That sounds like a plan. This could get out of hand. I like it." After they exchanged a few flirty text messages, Amanda agreed to meet Chris Watts in person for the first time here in this shopping center. They parked somewhere over here, and then Chris bought Amanda a coffee from this Starbucks before they decided to head to her place to watch a movie. That movie was the psychological thriller Shutter Island. Leonardo DiCaprio plays a husband who murders his wife because she killed their children.
Where are the kids?
Did the movie inspire Watts to falsely claim that he killed his wife Shannan in a rage because she strangled the little girls?
Kind
of eerie.
Yeah, almost like a premonition.
Right. That night, Amanda says they had their first sexual...
And in this interview, Amanda, to me, appears intoxicated. And the person that I know that works with her said that Amanda had a substance abuse issue. And there is another interview out on her where she talks about her recovery. So it is my strong suspicion that this is where CW got the narcotics to try to end Shannan's life, but that's just my opinion. You don't have to agree. So that's the other one. Let's get us back over to Nancy.
What are ways that I need to make sure that you know what I'm talking about? What are ways that you...
Is this the one that we were watching? I don't think this is, no, that's the wrong one. Sorry.
There was a monster inside of you, and it was boiling, and it had to come out. And that's why you killed Shannan, is because that monster just had to come out. I don't know what you think of that, but it's like something in there, and it wasn't caused by Shannan, that monster inside of him.
You know, you mentioned that when he left the disposal scene, which is a really euphemistic way to put what he did to Bella and Celeste, Shannan and Nico, that he was playing Metallica. What he was playing was a Metallica song, Battery. And some of the lyrics are, pounding out aggression turns into obsession, cannot kill the battery, cannot kill the family. He knew exactly what he was doing. Yes. And the motive was to be with another woman who would probably start cheating on the moment he could.
Yes. Yeah.
What is your takeaway of Chris Watts? And the books are amazing. The Murders of Christopher Watts and The Many Faces of Christopher Watts, a 5-year update. What's your takeaway that you can give us?
All of these women that are writing to him and sending him love letters and sending him money through the mail that has overloaded his commissary. My takeaway is that there's something in him that he thinks he can just woo any woman. And woman beware, because let me tell you, anyone that has that personality, I would definitely be very careful of. I don't think that there is a man or a woman alive that is willing.
I might believe what she's saying here after seeing that incident report where he was writing to that lady and telling her he was going to soak her panties and to get to him fast. Like, ew. Can you imagine? Ooh.
Willing to kiss your feet that much, to woo you that much, and not just be themselves. But these women, they want to marry him. They want to support him. They want to visit with him. They want to talk to him on the phone. Oh my gosh. My takeaway is just beware. Women, beware.
You know, you mentioned that he was good looking. I've never once found him good looking, even before I knew for sure he murdered Shannan, because he doesn't have a kind face. You know, no, why am I seeing him without a shirt on? Why are you doing that to me? I don't want to see his body. He's yuck.
I never found him good looking either. Like, I don't like this, right? I find and he has like a weird Jay for Justice said once it looks like he wears a waist cincher, and I can't unsee it. Yeah, he's like a female body to me.
You know what? Control room showing me that. You might as well show me a picture of a coral snake or
yeah.
But also I know what he did, so I mean I'm sure that plays into it.
Or a poisonous spider. That's how I view him. I've never once seen a kind look in his eyes.
No, it was for some class that he took. He did some research project on marriages, and there's a video, and I believe that was when they still lived in North Carolina, I believe.
May smile, but there's something cold in his eyes. You know, when my husband smiles, his eyes smile too.
Or no, it was when he first moved to Colorado, and I think Shannan was in North Carolina, and she thought it would be a good idea for him to take some classes to keep him busy.
Yes.
You know, it's just like my dad and my mom. Their eyes smile. His eyes always look cold to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's so many women think that he's good looking, to the point that all these women that have written him, Nancy, they send him money in the mail. He has a fan club. It's unbelievable. The fan clubs that he has, and the people that believe that he didn't really do this, or it was more caused by Shannan. They
Oh my
believe
stars.
Shannan.
He confessed, and people still believe he didn't do it?
Yes.
Shocking.
People still believe he did not do it.
People believe he didn't do it, or that he was being abused, and that Shannan, drove him to do it. Over on Reddit, I found
Behind the barn, there's a thicket, and if you listen late at night, you'll hear a cricket, and it sings a song, and I know the words